Okay, on this video, we are going to talk about some tried and true and strangely shocking little weight loss secrets that you can implement to accelerate fat loss, but also are science-backed. So I'm really excited to dive into them. There are 3, and they are easy, and they are effective, and they have the stamp of approval of science. So let's dive into what these 3 are. Okay, first one is my new food obsession, because there's so many ways we can look at this one food. It serves so many purposes, and that is to eat 2 tablespoons of olive oil every single day. So I want you to think about this for a hot moment. One of the interesting things when we go to lose weight is that we're often thinking, I need to take something out. And yeah, there's lots of things that you should take out. I mean, what's the whole principle of fasting is like taking a pause from food. But we can't lose sight of the fact that you can also put things in that will accelerate that fat loss. And putting things in is a lot easier than taking it out, right? So with this 2 tablespoons of olive oil every day, what I want to talk about is there was a couple interesting studies. And in the study, I'll explain to you what they did, because the first study was comparing soybean oil with extra virgin olive oil. It's also known as EVO. That's how it's referred to, as EVO, E-V-O-O, which stands for extra virgin olive oil. So this isn't just any olive oil, and we're going to talk about how you pick the right olive oil here in a second. But the first thing that this was a 2018 study in the European Journal of Nutrition, and it had 41 adult women. They researched us, and they had them eat 2 tablespoons of either extra virgin olive oil or soybean oil with breakfast every day for 9 weeks. Now, I want to say I think the breakfast part is important because they probably started their day with stable blood sugar because of that. But here's what they found. Think about this. 2 tablespoons of olive oil every morning with your breakfast for 9 weeks. And what they found is that the group that did the EVO, the extra virgin olive oil, had an 80% more fat loss than the soybean oil group, which is amazing. And that the EVO group lowered their blood pressure. So again, when we go into food as medicine, and we add in good quality foods, what happens is we're not only going to get that weight loss result, but we're also going to see some other benefits. By the way, for those of you who know or don't know, Eat Like a Girl is a book that is coming out in October 22nd, 2024 to help you understand concepts like what I'm teaching you right now. It's the adding in of certain foods that can give you the result you often are trying to pull foods out of your diet to get that same result. There was also, this was interesting, a 2018 meta-analysis. So meta-analyses are where they look at several studies together. And this one, they found similar results. They looked at 11 randomized placebo-controlled trials where people's diets were enriched in olive oil. So they're looking at 11 different studies. And they just, in this meta-analysis, they were looking at people, what happened to people when they put olive oil into their diet. And this is what they found. They found that people who added olive oil into their diet lost significantly more body fat and had a greater reduction in waist size. Okay, where are my belly fat lovers out there trying to lose belly fat? I've done so many videos on belly fat. So let's think about adding in more olive oil. And that particular study showed it was literally around the waist. And then the last one that I think is really interesting on this topic is that they started to see that it reduced inflammation, a different study. This was a 2019 review. And they showed that adding these extra virgin olive oil into your diet brought inflammation down. Now, this is really important because those of you who have been following me for a while, I've talked about how all fat is its excess. It's excess glucose, it's excess hormones, it's excess toxins that your body doesn't know what to do with. So it goes and stores it in fat. Well, when we look at our cells, what we know is that The outside of the cell, it's called a cellular membrane, is this porous structure that lets the good in and pushes the bad out. When we are making bad food choices or absorbing too many toxins, that cellular membrane becomes very inflamed. And now stuff can't get into the cell and toxins can't get out. When the good stuff can't get into the cell, what ends up happening is your body now has to store it. So in this last review that I'm quoting to you all, is what they showed is that it reduced inflammation and oxidative stress. So it reduced the cellular inflammation and the oxidative stress that was happening inside the cell from these toxins not being able to get out and nutrients not being able to get in. So it's a cellular breakdown, and it breaks down with the wrong food. So by adding olive oil in, you start to repair the cells, you start to bring all this inflammation down, and we start to see a different metabolic effect, like hunger going away, stabilizing a blood sugar, weight loss. It is a beautiful, beautiful tool. The last thing I want to say on olive oil is make sure, again, that it's extra virgin olive oil from a single batch with a high polyphenol count. If that's new to you, go check out the Resetter podcast I did with Chef Leslie, who is one of the chefs for Eat Like a Girl. We unpacked olive oil until there was literally nothing left to say. Okay, so that was number one, that you're gonna eat 2 tablespoons of olive oil every day. Put in the comments if that's gonna be an easy change for you. I wanna know, because that seems pretty easy to me. Okay, number 2, the second secret is 1 to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar every day. You all love apple cider vinegar. I've talked with you before about how my videos here, apple cider vinegar is like the hottest. Everybody loves to know about it. But let's, again, think about it through weight loss. So 2009 study, so this is an individual study, showed that they gave overweight adults a daily vinegar drink for 12 weeks. And what they found is there was a vinegar group and a placebo group. And so same diet, same exercise, they just looked at vinegar. And the group that they added apple cider vinegar in lost significantly more fat. They lost the belly fat, and they also lowered their triglycerides. So really good for those of you that are concerned about heart health. Then I went on and found another study that was really interesting with 120 overweight people who had drinks that one was placebo and one was vinegar. And this one, they do talk about how much vinegar, 1 to 3 tablespoons of vinegar. And they saw in that one, again, loss of fat and better blood sugar control. So one of the things that we know that the apple cider vinegar does is it stabilizes blood sugar. So when your blood sugar is doing this all day long, every time the blood sugar peaks, there's too much glucose, too much insulin. Every time you have a steep drop in blood sugar, you start craving more carbohydrates, which puts you on this blood sugar up and down all day long. So if we just combine the first 2 principles, the first one being olive oil, we're stabilizing blood sugar, so it stops doing this up and down. We're repairing the cells, and we're adding in the apple cider vinegar to make sure that we just are keeping our blood sugar spikes at a minimum and bringing down cellular inflammation. So they're like a really cool marriage together. Okay, you know how when you're trying to get in and out of fat burner, sugar burner, and sometimes you struggle? It might be that you have a metabolic blocker that's at play here. Want to know what those blockers are? Click on the link above and I'll take you straight to a giveaway and you can have my list of metabolic blockers. And that leads me to the third research that I found, which was drinking more water, especially before meals. So this one I've known for a while, and I feel a little bit like, I apologize, I'm bringing this to you now. We've talked a lot about weight loss here on my channel, but it's a really good trick, which is have a glass of water before a meal. I'd even say have a glass of water when you think you're hungry, because you may just be thirsty. So not only does the water fill up your stomach so you don't eat as much, but some of us, we think we're hungry and we're really thirsty, we have a glass of water and our hunger goes down. So there was research in this one that was fascinating, and they showed that drinking water helped more people lose weight and it affected cravings. And this was fascinating. The people who drank more water lost an average of 5% of their body weight in fat, So that's like they lost an extra 7.5 pounds on a 150-pound person just from drinking water. So, weight loss doesn't have to be complicated if you understand why your body gains weight. When you don't understand why your body gains weight, or you're still thinking it's the calorie in, calorie out, then we lose our way. But when we actually sit and ask, why is the body holding on to weight? And we apply these 3 principles, we can see, oh, the extra virgin olive oil, it stabilizes blood sugar. Oh, and make sure you don't get those spikes. Apple cider vinegar, very similar things, stabilizing blood sugar, and then the water. And if we can get our blood sugar under control, where we're not having these big spikes, and we can start to kill the hunger hormone, now we have an incredible weight loss path that will feel effortless. And then, of course, if you attach that to a fasting window, you will find weight loss has never been easier. So there you go. Let me know if that was helpful. Do you do those 3 things? Add it to this metabolic switch and fasting lifestyle that I taught you. Dense in research for my research nerds out there. We'll link all the studies in here. But think of it this way, if you're not losing weight, there's a strategy you want to follow, not a rigidity. It's not always about being disciplined. It's about understanding the principles of weight loss. And if you even start to unpack like the weight loss drugs right now, they know the principles of weight loss. One of them, which is this GLP-1, like, oh, if we can fix this broken GLP-1 system, now we can kill hunger. But there's so many other ways to do it. And that are, don't cost money and will kill your hunger and stabilize your blood sugar and get your body releasing weight. And you're just buying olive oil and apple cider vinegar and maybe drinking some water, and now attaching that to some fasting, and you're going to get very, very similar results as to those weight loss drugs. I have seen it over and over again. So let me know if that's helpful. Very dense, but I never want you to give up on yourself. Please, please, please. You have the power to release weight once you understand the formula for weight loss, and that was a big section of what you need to know to lose weight. Okay, you're not losing belly fat. I get it. Watch this video so you know exactly how to get rid of your belly fat. So I really want you to remember that cortisol and belly fat, those go hand in hand. So as your belly is growing, it's not always diet related. It can also be stress related.